One of the things that the teacher of both Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg said about the two of them as students was that they were keen and skeptical, eager and skeptical, not just eager. And what they said that they saw when they were in his maths class at university was that they sat on the edge of their seats, interested in the subject, keen to be part of it, but the next day or even within that very time, they questioned what they were hearing. I'm not sure about that algorithm. I'd want to say something else about that. Now, this is not cynicism. This is expression of radical doubt. It's the fundamental disposition of the scientific thinker. That is, do we accept this or not? It's not about a rush to truth, it's about moving away from falsity. That's what will eventually give us the cure for cancer. It won't be suddenly we've found it, the eureka moment. It will be, we know that doesn't work and that doesn't work and that doesn't work. As Edison said, I now know 10,000 ways that it won't work. That's the logic, the increased skepticism. And we're living in a time when 85%, as I heard recently at an IBM think tank in Zurich, 85% of what young people come across on the internet is not to be trusted. That's a big number, 85%. If we send our kids out keen and Pollyanna and optimistic, out we go, consume everything, then we're going to have a real problem and we're going to create it for them. So we want keen and skeptical. Just as we want performing and learning in equal measure, we want keen and skeptical. Not cynical, but skeptical. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan tipped a lot of people out of institutions in America, particularly intellectually disabled people and others who had been in institutions for a long time. They found some of those people later next to garbage bins, starving, because they had lost the ability to swallow. And they'd lost the ability to swallow because in the institution, it was easier for the staff when they put their neck back to just pour basically the porridge, the mush down. And so what happened was when they got out of the institution, they needed to swallow again and they were unable to. Now, in a sense, I guess there's an analogy there. What we don't want is for our kids not to be able to swallow. We don't want them putting their neck back. It's a condition called bird throat, where like a bird, the neck goes back and the stuff gets shoved down. We don't want our young people at that. What we've got in keen and skeptical, the skeptical is that some things are hard to swallow. You know, the question of what do we swallow and what don't we swallow becomes extremely important for our young people now. If 85% is not to be trusted, not just because it's actually a lie, like the Nigerian prince who's going to leave you millions of dollars in your account if only you'll give him your account number, delete. Not just that, but misleading aggregates. Misleading aggregates which are a sort of truth, they're true, but one wouldn't want to make a decision on the basis of that. But, if you went to America and went to Death Valley, Nevada, you'd find the average temperature there was 25 degrees Celsius. Sounds good. Sounds like a nice place to be, except it's never 25, it's either minus 40 or plus 50. So, but the average sounds fine. And those aggregates, I mean, it's not wrong, but it's misleading. So we're not just talking about the Nigerian prince. We're talking about young people's capacity to engage with material, to ask that question about Google. What wasn't on the first page of Google or the second that you thought should be there? Not, I found it on Google. It's a very, very important thing that we do here when we're trying to say, let's get kids to be keen and skeptical.